Happy Sabbath. Happy Sabbath and happy Sabbath to all my Israelites scattered to the four corners of the earth. Shalom to you. I hope you guys had a blessed week, as have I. Family, we're going to be diving into Genesis 27 today. Crucial chapter showing how we, family, got the blessings. Showing how the Most High worked through this entire crazy situation to bring us the blessings. We get the blessings, family, not everybody else. Not these Christians out there, these fake Jews out there. They don't get nothing. This chapter shows how we get the blessings. And I'm not going to hold back. This is the kind of message you guys need to hear with your heart open, because it's about us. It's about Israel, so-called black people around the earth. Not the imposters running around today. We're talking about the real sons of Jacob. The ones walking around in this modern day Babylon, confused, lost, and needing to wake up. So this Genesis 27 is the story of Jacob and Esau. This ain't just some old sibling rivalry, family. Esau represents the nations that hate us. They are not Esau camps. He represents the nations that hate us. He is the one who's been trying to take our birthright, our dominion, since day one. And Jacob, we all know that's us, the chosen people, the ones Yah had his eyes on from the beginning. So without further ado, family, let's do this right. We start with Genesis 27, 1 through 4. We're diving deep, pulling out every layer and bringing it straight to 2024. Buckle up, family, because this is going to hit home. Verse 1, and it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau, his eldest son, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I. And he said, behold, now I am old. I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field. And take me some venison, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. So let's break this down verse by verse. Let's chew on this meat. Verse 1, Isaac was old, his eyes was dim. So Isaac's eyes being dim, family, isn't just about his physical sight or his physical age. This is symbolic of spiritual blindness. Isaac, the father of Jacob and Esau, was blind to the true reality of Yah's plan. He couldn't see who Esau really was. Esau represents the other nations, the ones who have been at war with Israel since the womb. These nations are not Esau's descendants, like these other people are saying. No, they have the spirit of Esau upon them. So Isaac, in his blindness, was about to do something out of order, something that went against Yah's will. He was ready to bless Esau, the man Yah had already rejected. Let's go read that rejection, family. Malachi 1, 2 and 3. Then Malachi 1, 2 and 3. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. So this right here, family, is a warning to us in 2024. Don't be blind to what Yah is doing. Stop trying to bless what Yah has cursed. And stop trying to hold on to things that aren't for us. Some of us are spiritually blind today, just like Isaac was, because we've allowed the world to cloud our vision. We're calling Esau our friend. We're calling these nations our brothers when they've been our enemies since the beginning. Look what the Most High says through Paul. Romans 11. In verse 8. And it reads, according as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And even unto this day, a lot of our people are blind, deaf, and stupid to what the Most High is doing, to what the Most High has said in this book, because they don't believe this book. But they believe these other nations. They bow down to what these other nations say, but they can't bow down to what their creator says. Sad, despicable behavior. Verse 2, I know not the day of my death. So Isaac says he doesn't know when he's going to die. Now let me drop this on you, family. This is a picture of urgency. Isaac is feeling like time is running out. And he's moving based on his timeline, not Yah's. How many of us are out here making decisions based on fear or urgency instead of waiting on Yah's perfect timing? I can hold my hand up for that one. I used to be me. I used to try to force things and rush things only to have disastrous results. We panic. We move out of order. And we end up trying to bless Esau instead of Jacob. Isaac was ready to hand over the blessing to the wrong son because of his own urgency. Family, we've got to stop moving out of fear and start moving in faith. Yah's plan is perfect, family, and it doesn't operate on our clock. Ecclesiastes 3:1, Solomon says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under heaven. Patience, family. Patience. When you move on the Most High's timing, everything works out perfectly. When you don't, then you get all this confusion. As we see in the world today, they're trying to move on their timeline. And look how the world is today. Cursed. Verse 3, take thy weapons, go out to the field. Isaac is telling Esau here. Isaac tells Esau to grab his weapons and go out to the field to hunt. This is symbolic, family, of how the other nations operate today under the spirit of Esau. They are hunters, conquerors, always out in the field trying to take. They survive by exploitation, by hunting the earth, by taking from others. You see it with the colonization, especially in the motherland, Africa. You see it when they came over to this country and they stole this country from the people who was here before them. In every other country, they stole it and colonized it. Raped and pillaged the land all over the earth. That's how they survive, family. They moving just like Esau did. But they are not Esau. So stop with that foolishness. This is the spirit of Esau. He's a man of the field. A man. A man. A man after the flesh. We read that if we go to Genesis 25 and 27. Which says, and the boys grew. And Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. And here's where it gets real, family. While Esau is out there with his weapons, hunting, running the world, Jacob is at home, dwelling in tents, as we just read, waiting on Yah's plan. This is the story, family, of Israel today. The world is out there hustling, taking, exploiting. Look at all these heathen, these Caucasians. these Asians, so-called Arabs, these Africans, these so-called Spanish people out there. They moving, exploiting. While y'all's people, the ones who are awake, the remnant, are trying to survive, waiting on the blessing. But don't get it twisted, family. Jacob is the one Yah has chosen. Jacob is the one who will inherit everything. As it says in Psalm 37, 12 and 13. Again, Psalm 37, 12 and 13. The wicked plotted against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The psalmist family is saying the wicked, they plan things for us, the good, the righteous. They show their teeth in anger at them, at us. You see it right now, family. Each time we preach this truth on YouTube or wherever, even when the camps go out there and preach this truth, look at how the heathen act. Look at them. Come up there. Angry, vicious. That's what they do, family. It's been written. So why are we trying to be friends with people who don't even want us to wake up? They say nothing when we call ourselves African American, Negro, Jamaican, Haitian, Dominican. The Afro ones, that is, not the white ones. And all these other names of these countries that they named after themselves, these heathen. They say nothing when we say those names. We claim those names. But as soon as we claim tribe of Judah, or whatever tribe you from, as soon as we say we're an Israelite, all of a sudden there's an issue. But they had no issue with you calling yourselves a Negro or black. A dang on color. But as soon as you say your true heritage, that's when you know, family, that we own to something. We own the truth because we get a reaction. This is what the Most High trying to tell us, family. Verse 4, make me some savory meat, such as I love. Look at Isaac here. He's telling Esau to make him that savory meat. Now, this might seem like just a father's preference, right? But hold on. This meat here, family, represents something deeper. It's about appeasement. Isaac's about to hand out the blessing based on what? Satisfying his flesh. He's choosing the flesh over the spirit. We went over that dichotomy, that duality in Genesis 25. And look what Isaac's doing. He's choosing the flesh. He wants Esau to bring something that satisfies his appetite, his fleshly desires. And here's the thing, family. This is how Esau operates. The world runs on the flesh. This is how the spirit of Esau operates. It runs on the flesh. They'll do whatever it takes to satisfy their carnal desires, even if it means taking what belongs to Jacob. That's us. Look what these fake Jews have done in that spirit of Esau. They took our birthright. But hey, we let them. We despise our birthright. We don't want to be kings and queens of the earth. We want to be niggas. We want to be slaves. We don't want to be great. We want to be small. We don't want no power. That's the indoctrination. You tell somebody, hey, they're a king. Nah, I ain't none of that, bro. I ain't none of that. Blah, 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 blah. But they are content with working a job, listening to a heathen. Boss them around all day. They got no issue with that. Here I am trying to tell them their destiny if they come back to the covenant. And they shoo me away. Foolishness. And some of us, family, are trying to do the same thing. Trying to get blessed by satisfying the flesh. But Yah's blessings don't come through the flesh. They come through spirit and obedience. Paul tells us in Galatians 6 and 8. For he that soweth to the flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, destruction, family. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life, everlasting, eternal life. The kingdom. You get the kingdom. Deny your flesh and you get the kingdom. But our people don't want that. So what does all this mean, this section, mean for us in 2024? The spirit of Esau family is still out there today, trying to take the blessing that belongs to us, Jacob. They're using his weapons. He's out in the field, hunting, taking, conquering, exploiting. And just like Isaac was ready to give Esau the blessing, because he couldn't see, some of us out here blind, ready to hand over our birthright to a world that doesn't give two F's about us. But here's the truth. Jacob is the one Yah has chosen, family. We are the descendants of Jacob. And the blessing belongs to us, not to Esau. But we've got to stop playing the game of the flesh. Stop trying to satisfy the world's desires and start walking in the Spirit. That's what it means, family. So let's keep this train moving. We diving into Genesis 27, 5-10 now. This is where things start heating up. You've got Rebecca coming into the picture now. And trust me, there's a whole lot more going on than just a mother looking out for her son. We're talking about destiny, deception, and obedience. So let's break this down for our 2024 ears, shall we? Verse 5. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau, his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison, and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee. Bless thee before his death. So verse 5 here. Let's start right here. Rebekah heard what Isaac said to Esau. Now, this isn't just some nosy mother eavesdropping on her husband. This is divine intervention, family. Y'all already told Rebekah that Jacob was the one. She knew from the beginning that Yah didn't choose Esau. And she wasn't about to let Isaac's blindness mess up what Yah already set in motion. So this is a message, family, for us today. Rebekah represents those of us who know the truth, who hear the word of Yah clearly. She knew Yah's plan and acted on it. Some of us hear the truth, but we sit on it. Laziness. We don't move. But Rebekah, she heard and she moved. This isn't about trickery, family. This is about obedience to Yah's will. Sometimes we've got to step in and correct the course when we see things going astray, especially when we know Yah's plan. Back in Genesis 25 and 23, the elder shall serve the younger. Yah already declared Jacob was the chosen one. Rebekah was acting in line with that prophecy. So verse 6, Rebekah spake unto Jacob here. Now Rebekah goes to Jacob and lays it all on him. But notice this. She doesn't say, here's what I think you should do. No, she's giving him a command. This is about submission to divine authority, family. Rebekah represents wisdom and knowledge of Yah's plan. And Jacob represents the one who has to submit to that knowledge. In 2024, family, this is us. Sometimes Yah is giving us instructions through people, through his word, through the Spirit, and we have to submit. Jacob didn't argue with his mama. He listened Some of us are out here arguing with Yah's plan, trying to do things our own way, instead of listening to the people Yah has put in our lives to guide us. Stop being stubborn, family. Verse 7, Rebekah repeats Isaac's plan to Jacob. Esau's supposed to bring the food, and Isaac's going to bless him before the Lord. Now pay attention to that phrase, family. This wasn't just a family blessing. This was a blessing in the presence of Yah. That's serious business. This wasn't about Isaac just giving away some inheritance, family. This was about the covenant, the promise Yah made to Abraham, passing down to the next generation. And here's where it gets deep, family. Esau was out here thinking he could get the blessing through his works, through going out, killing the venison, preparing the food. But Yah's blessings don't come through works. They come through faith and obedience to his will. Esau thought he could earn the blessing, but Jacob was the one who was destined for it. Not because of anything he did, but because Yah chose him. Paul told us this in Romans 9, 11 and 12. Again, Romans 9, 11 and 12. For the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, sorry Esau, but of him that calleth. Can't get more plainer than that, family. So verse 8. Rebekah doesn't ask Jacob to answer her advice. She commands him to obey. Critical. Because in 2024, we've got to understand that obedience is key. Some of us are out here trying to negotiate with Yah, trying to find middle ground, that lukewarm nonsense. But there is none, family. When Yah gives us a command, it's either yes or no. Rebekah tells Jacob to obey her voice because she is moving in line with Yah's will. This is where many of us stumble. We hear the truth, but we didn't want to obey because it doesn't look right or feel right in the moment. I don't want to do that. That's too hard. I got things to do. I got other things. I got plans, Father. I can't do that right now. That's what the majority of y'all say. Y'all are not ready for the truth. You say you are, but you ain't ready. Jacob could have said, but this isn't fair. Esau is the firstborn. But life in Yah's plan isn't about fairness, family. It's about divine order. Because the Most High tells you in 1 Samuel 15 and 22, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. Obedience, family, is what Yah wants. Not some grand gesture or excuse like these Christians out there do. A lot of people in this truth got a lot of excuses. No action, but they got a hell of a lot of excuses. I've been shown that. Verse 9, Rebekah tells Jacob to go get 2 goats so she can prepare the food Isaac loves. Now let's not skip past this symbolism here, family. Goats in the Bible often represent atonement and sacrifice. In Leviticus 16, during the Day of Atonement, goats were used as sin offerings. This isn't just about making a meal. There's a deeper spiritual principle happening here. Let's go read it. Leviticus 16 and 15. And it says, then shall he kill the goat of the sin offering that is for the people, and bring his blood within the veil, and do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bullock, and sprinkled it upon the mercy seat and before the mercy seat. Jacob was about to step into his divine calling, family, and that required a symbolic sacrifice. This reminds us that stepping into our blessing often requires us to make a sacrifice. I told you about this sacrifice. It's the same sacrifice that Abraham nearly did. He had to put Isaac on the altar in order to come into covenant fully with the Most High, to get the blessing. We got to make a sacrifice, family, whether it's our time, our comfort, our desires. But some of us want the blessing, but we're not willing to make the necessary sacrifices to get there. Oh, yes, you know who you are. You want all the rewards, but you don't want to do what is necessary to get said reward. You don't want to endure. You just want to skip straight to the end. No, sorry, that's not how it works. You got to labor in this vineyard. Oh, yes, you finna get put to work. You're going to have to show the Most High Yah that you are ready for this reward. Through our faith, family, works flourish. We want the reward without the work. But Yah's blessings, family, require us to be all in. All in, family. So verse 10, here Rebekah lays out the plan. Jacob has to take the food to Isaac and receive the blessing. But understand this, the blessing was always Jacob's. This wasn't about stealing. It was about claiming what was his. Yah had already declared the goddamn thing. But Jacob had to walk it out. Like DJ Young say, walk it out. Now walk it out. He had to walk it out. This is a message to you today, family. Yah has already declared blessings over us. But we've got to walk in obedience to receive them. We can't just sit back and wait for the blessings to fall in our laps. We have to act in faith and claim what Yah has promised us. Jacob wasn't walking or wasn't taking something that didn't belong to him. He was stepping into the role that Yah had already designed for him. James 2:17 says this, even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. Jacob had to act on his faith, just like you have to act on your faith to receive the blessing. So what we are seeing in this section, family, is Rebekah's wisdom and Jacob's obedience. Rebekah, again, represents those of us who know the truth about Yah's plans and aren't afraid to step in and make sure it happens. She's not manipulating the situation. She's moving in line with Yah's will, ensuring that Jacob, the chosen one, receives the blessing. Jacob's role is to obey. He doesn't argue. He does not question. He listens to his mama because she represents the guidance of Yah. In 2024 today, family, we've got to be just like Jacob, ready to move in obedience, even when it doesn't make sense in the moment. Sometimes Yah's plan goes against the world's expectations, as he showed me last week. But we've got to be willing to follow his voice. Obedience, family, over feelings. That's how the Most High works. That's how he works. So we're keeping this fire burning. Now we're diving into Genesis 27, 11 through 17. This is where Jacob starts to hesitate and Rebekah reassures him. This section, family, is packed with symbolism about fear, obedience, and the lengths we sometimes have to go to in order to walk in Yah's will. So let's break it down for 2024, verse by verse. 11 through 17. And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father, peradventure, will fail me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread, which she had prepared, into the hand of her son Jacob. Verse 11 here. Let's start here. Jacob's hesitation comes in. He's worried about the difference between himself and Esau. Now let's get the real about the symbolism again. Esau, the hairy man, represents the flesh, as I told you in Genesis 25. The carnal nature. Hair in scripture is often associated with strength and physicality. Think about Samson in Judges 16 and 17. Let's go read it. Now, Judges 16 and 17. That he told her all his heart and said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. Esau's whole identity, family, is tied to the flesh. He's a man of the field, a hunter, someone who relies on his physical abilities and worldly strength. But Jacob, he's a smooth man, smooth criminal. There's nothing carnal about him. He's not relying on the flesh. He's moving in the spirit. And that's what made him the chosen one. Yah doesn't care about your physical strength, family, or your earthly status, celebrities. He cares about the spirit. In 2024, today, we've got to stop worrying about the Esau's of the world, these spiritual Esau's. Those who seem to have it all together on the outside. Yah isn't looking for the hairy, tough, worldly types. He's looking for those who are willing to obey. How do we know? 1 Samuel 16 and 7. Yah says, for the Lord seeth not as a man seeth. For the man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord looketh on the heart. He's showing you how to operate in this world, family. Stop looking at people's outer appearance. Start looking at their character. Start looking at their actions. That's going to show you a true measure of a person by watching what they do, not what they say. Man is a liar. Remember this. Watch what they do, not what they say. Oh, I love Yah. I love him so much. Yeah, they look the part. Got the hair wraps on. Got the fringes on. They reading the Bible, all of that stuff. But what are they doing? Are their actions matching? Or is their inside matching their outside? For the majority, it's a big fat no. Big fat no. Verse 12. Here's where the fear kicks in. Jacob is afraid of being seen as a deceiver. And he's worried about bringing a curse upon himself. But check this out. Jacob wasn't deceiving anyone. The blessing was his from the beginning. Yah had already declared it. But Jacob, like many of us, was afraid to step into what was already his because it didn't look like he thought it would. See, everybody think blessing's supposed to look a certain way. But the Most High may bless you with something so small. But it's for your good. And you won't even recognize the blessing because you're looking for some big old grand thing. I want a big old house. I want a big car. I want a nice promotion. I want big fat money in my bank account. That's what y'all looking for. The Most High don't work that way. How many of us, family, are afraid to walk in what Yah has already given us because we're worried about the world's perception? Jacob was worried about being seen as a deceiver, but Yah had already chosen him. Family, some of us are holding back because we're afraid of being misunderstood or judged. But Yah doesn't care about people's opinions. He cares about his will being done. As for the curse, Jacob feared. Listen, when you're moving in Yah's plan, no curse can touch you. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Jacob's fear was based on his flesh, not on Yah's power. In our world today, we've got to stop letting fear of man stop us from stepping into Yah's promises. Because as Solomon told us in Proverbs 29 and 25, the fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. Family, don't care about what your neighbor say. What he gonna think of you? What she gonna think of you? It don't matter what they think. What does Yah think? See, I was taught that over this past year. I was trying to please man. The Most High say, no, you please me. I'll handle the rest. But you do my will. My will. You align your actions with me, and I'll take care of the rest. And that's the path I'm walking on now. Fresh understanding. Verse 13, now this is heavy. Rebecca says, let the curse fall on me. She's willing to take the weight of any punishment to make sure Yah's will is done. This is the sacrifice of the older generation for the next. Rebecca, again, represents the wisdom and guidance that Yah gives to those who know the truth. She's not just acting out of selfishness, family. She's moving in alignment with prophecy. Today, we need more Rebeccas. People who are willing to take the heat to make sure Yah's plan gets carried out. Look around. There are leaders, elders, and even parents in our community who need to step up and say, I'll take the curse if it means my children will walk in their blessing. But notice what she tells Jacob. Only obey my voice. Obedience is the key here. Rebecca knows that curses can't touch you when you're moving in Yah's will. Check out what Paul says in Galatians 3 and 13. Again, that's Galatians 3 and 13. Christ had redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is every one that hangeth on a tree. You see that? Rebecca was a foreshadow of Christ. Are you seeing it? Are your eyes being opened? Foreshadow of Christ. Christ was the ultimate fulfillment of this. I hope your minds are being open, family. This is big stuff. Big stuff. Verse 14. Jacob didn't argue. He went and did what Rebecca told him to do. This is obedience in action, family. Jacob knew the risks. He knew he could be exposed or cursed, but he still obeyed because he trusted his mother's wisdom. In the same way, we must trust Yah's wisdom and move in faith. Because today, there are too many of us who hear the truth, but don't act on it. We're hesitant. We're scared. We're waiting for the perfect moment. But Jacob didn't wait around. He acted. How many blessings are we missing, family, because we're not willing to act in faith? Jacob wasn't taking the blessing by force. He was claiming what was his all along. James 1, 2022. Look at me. Get ahead of myself. James 1 and 22. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. Jacob was a doer, not just a listener. You have to be a doer, and not a hearer only. Get your ass up and do something, Israel. I know a lot of you big. Put down the pork chop and the gizzards. Get on the treadmill and get to work for the Most High Yah. Verse 15. Now look at this. Rebekah takes Esau's clothing and puts it on Jacob. This is deep, family. Deep. The clothing of Esau represents the outward appearance of the world. Jacob had to put on Esau's garment to appear like him. But underneath, he was still Jacob. This is symbolic of how Israel has been hidden in plain sight. Are we not hidden in plain sight, family? We right here, the chosen people of God, right here in all these countries, and these people, these heathen, cannot even see us. Look at what Psalm 83:3 says here, family. Look at this. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. We right in their goddamn own face, family. They can't even see us because the Most High blinded them. The world might see us as one thing, black, African American. But underneath, we are Yah's chosen people. In 2024 today, we got to understand that the world has been trying to dress us up as something we're not. They've put Esau's clothes on us and told us we just like them. You got the spirit of Esau too. But we're not. We're still Jacob under all of that. The world has dressed us up in poverty, oppression, and lies. But Yah knows who we are underneath. We've been disguised for generations. But Yah's about to reveal who we really are. As Paul said in Romans 8 in verse 19. For the earnest expectation of the creature waiteth for the manifestation of the sons of God. The world is waiting, family, for Jacob to be revealed. And family, is happening bit by bit. More and more of us are waking up to who we truly are. And the world ain't liking it. We stripping off the clothes of poverty. We stripping off the clothes of racism, oppression, discrimination. And we putting on the robes of righteousness that the Most High has given our people. Can I get an amen out there? Deep stuff, family. Verse 16. Here's where it gets even deeper. Rebekah puts goat skins on Jacob's hands and neck to make him feel like Esau. This goes back to the symbolism of the goats. Sacrifice and atonement. Jacob is stepping into his blessing, but it comes through the covering of sacrifice. This is a picture of how we as Israel are covered by Yah's sacrifice through his son. We don't step into our blessings because of our own works. We step in because Yah covers us. Just like Jacob was covered with the goat skins. We're covered by Yah's provision. Today, we've got to stop thinking we can earn Yah's blessings through our own efforts, Christians. It's his covering that makes us worthy. His covering. Romans 4:7, Paul speaking truth all in this lesson, family. Blessed are they whose iniquities are forgiven. Your sins are forgiven. Whose sins are covered. Just like Jacob was covered, we are too, family. But you got to be walking in this walk. Wholly obedient to the will of the Father. That is how you get covered. Verse 17. Finally, Rebekah hands off the meal to Jacob, and he's ready to go into Isaac. This is a complete setup. Rebekah didn't leave anything to chance. She made sure everything was in place for Jacob to receive the blessing. This is a picture, family, of how Yah orchestrates everything in his plan. Nothing is left to chance. When Yah says you're going to be blessed, he makes sure everything is in place for you to walk into it. Jacob didn't have to worry about preparing the meal or getting the clothes. Rebekah did all that for him. In the same way, Yah prepares the way for us. He's already set everything up, family. We just have to step into it. Today, Yah has already put everything in place for his chosen people to walk into their blessings. Don't worry about the details. Just obey. 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 Isaiah tells us in 46:10. That's chapter 46:10 of Isaiah. Declaring the end from the beginning. Deep, family. Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times. The things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Yah has already set the plan in motion, just like Rebekah set up everything for Jacob. What we are seeing in this section, family, verses 11-17, is a powerful lesson about obedience, fear, and trusting Yah's plan. Jacob was hesitant because he was afraid of how things would look, but Rebekah reassured him. She represents the wisdom and guidance Yah provides to those who know the truth. Jacob's role was just to obey, despite his fear. Today, we've got to stop letting fear hold us back from stepping into what Yah has already prepared for us. The world has tried to dress us up and disguise us as one of them, but Yah knows who we are underneath. He's already put everything in place for us to walk into our blessings, family. We just have to be willing to move in faith. So let's keep it moving into Genesis 27:18-23 now. This is where Jacob steps into Isaac's presence, and the deception reaches its climax. But don't get it twisted. This is all about Yah's sovereignty and how his plan unfolds. Even when it doesn't look how we expect, we're going to dig into the symbolism of identity, blessing, and how Yah's will cannot be stopped no matter what. So let's get it. Verse 18, and he came unto his father and said, my father. And he said, here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because the Lord thy God brought it to me. And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him. And said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. So verse 18, here we go. Jacob walked into his father's presence. And the first thing Isaac asks is, who are you? This is deeper than just a question of identity, family. This is a question we all have to answer when we come before Yah. Who are you? Ask yourself in the mirror, who are you? Who am I? What's your identity? Are you walking in the flesh like Esau, or are you walking in the spirit like Jacob? See, Isaac's blindness represents that spiritual blindness, as I told you before. Yah's chosen people have been hidden, and the world is blind to who we really are. Today, the world is still asking us, who are you? They don't know that we are the true Israelites, the descendants of Jacob. But Yah knows, and we need to know. Stop calling yourself an African. Stop calling yourself Kemet, Egyptian. Stop calling yourself a Muslim. Stop calling yourself a Christian. So on and so forth. Jacob knew who he was, but he had to temporarily take on the identity of Esau to receive the blessing, which is symbolic of how we as Israel have been forced to live under the identity of Esau, under the systems and structures of this world. Because this system is run off the spirit of Esau. But despite that, family, the blessings still belong to us. Look what Isaiah tells us in chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know. My people doth not consider. The world doesn't know who we are, but we need to, family. Stop being stubborn. Listen to those people who are trying to tell you who the hell you are. Stop fighting. Stop being resistant. Stop allowing your indoctrination to kick in. Open your mind for once and receive the truth. Verse 19, Jacob says, I am Esau, thy firstborn. Now let me break this down. Jacob isn't just lying to deceive Isaac. There's a spiritual reality here. Esau was the firstborn in the flesh, but Jacob was the firstborn in the spirit. The blessing of the firstborn had already been promised to Jacob by Yah. So when Jacob says, I am Esau, he's stepping into the role Yah had already given him. The elder shall serve the younger. This is another message for us today. The world has been telling us we're not the chosen, that we're not the firstborn. But Yah has already declared who we are, family. We are Jacob, but we've been walking around under the identity of Esau. The world has been blind to our true identity, but we've got to step into what Yah has already declared. Jacob wasn't stealing anything. He was claiming what was his. As Paul tells us in Romans 9 and 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Yah already chose Jacob, family. And nothing was going to change that. He's working this out. Y'all seeing the wheels are moving. You see how Yah's will works throughout these situations. Verse 20, Isaac is suspicious. He can't believe how quickly Jacob, who thinks he is Esau, found the game. That deal. This is symbolic of how Yah's plans often move faster than we expect. Oh boy, let me tell ya. I know about it, boy. I've been in this thing for 4 years, boy. I'm moving like a freight train. Feels like I'm moving at the speed of light, the way the Most High will waking me up and giving me all this knowledge. It's crazy. Maybe this has happened to you. You feel like you're moving at 1,000,000 miles a minute. Because that's how Yah's plans often work out, family. Isaac expected a delay. He thought the blessing of the firstborn was going to Esau and that it would take some time. But when Yah is ready to move, he moves quickly. Today, Yah's about to move quickly on behalf of his people. You see the setup going around, family. You see it. You see who's going to be the next president. You see who that is. Who you think put him there? Who do you think put him there? Family, is about to kick off. It's about to go down. Are you ready for the fireworks that are about to happen? It's going to be a crazy year next year, family. Crazy, crazy year. I hope you are prepared with your popcorn. Because things are finna get hairy. The world expects us to take a long time to rise up. See, the world don't want us to wake up. They expected us to take a long time to rise up, to reclaim what's ours. But Yah's timing is not their timing, family. When he's ready to bless his people, it will come faster than expected. Look at how fast and how wide this awakening is moving across this earth. Look how it's spreading like wildfire. All over this earth, our people are waking up to who they are as Israel. Just go on Facebook and type in Israel. You're going to see all our people got that in their names. Is that a coincidence, family? Or is that the Most High's will at work? All over this earth, we waking up. The nations are like, hold up, man, hold up. We still on the road. Hold up. Don't wake up yet. Stay asleep. We don't want to stop ruling yet. That's why they getting antsy and anxious right here. That's why the heathen are foaming at the mouth. They see what's happening, family. Isaac's shock is a picture of how the world will be shocked when they see Jacob, the true Israel, receive the blessing. Woo, cha! Isaiah 60 and 22. Look at this. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time. Are you seeing the connection, family? When Yah moves, he moves quickly. You see the hastening happening now. We waking up faster than before, family. The nations can't keep up. They trying to smother the truth, but the truth cannot be smothered because it's coming from Yah. They can't change it. The train is moving to the final destination. Powered by Yah's will. And nothing, I repeat, nothing can stop it. Verse 21, look at this. Isaac still isn't convinced. He asked Jacob to come closer so he can feel him and determine if it's really Esau. Now check this out. Isaac relies on his physical senses because his spiritual discernment is weak. He's relying on what he can touch and feel, not on what Yah has already declared. Today, the world is relying on the flesh, on what they can see and touch, but they're missing the spiritual truth. This is a warning to you, family. We cannot rely on the flesh, what we see, what we feel, what the world tells us. We've got to rely on what Yah has declared. This book, stop reading these stupid books written by these heathens out there. All you need is a Bible. You don't need no outside books. This a book right here is the only one you need. Stop listening to the world and their stupid scholarly commentaries, which is all made up man's opinion. Listen to God's word. Stop listening to man. Stop relying on man. We've got to rely on what Yah has declared. Isaac was blind, but he didn't trust his spiritual instincts. He trusted his flesh. Family, in 2024, we need to stop trusting the flesh and start walking in the spirit, as Paul says in 2 Corinthians 5:7. For we walk by faith, not by sight. Isaac was walking by sight, even though he was blind, because he wasn't trusting in the spirit. Do you get it, family? Do you understand? Are you getting it? Verse 22. Now this is where it gets real deep. Isaac notices the voice sounds like Jacob, but the hands feel like Esau. This is a picture of how Israel has been walking around with the identity of Esau for generations. The world hears us. They see our culture. They see our influence, our power, but they still think we're Esau because we've been forced to wear Esau's clothes and walk in his systems. The world is confused about who we are, just like Isaac was confused. Are you seeing his connections? The brain is firing on all cylinders. The spirit is going all crazy right now. I hope you guys are picking up these connections. Fire heat right here. In 2024, family, this confusion is still happening. The world doesn't know who Israel really is. They see our voice, our spirit, our culture, our fight for justice, but they can only feel Esau's hands. They've labeled us as something we're not. But here's the truth. Yah knows who we are, and the blessing is still coming to us. No matter how confused the world is about our identity. Family, this goes back to Revelation 2:9, right here. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty. You're talking to the real Israelites here, the real ones. I know thy works, tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. It's not with money, it's with spiritual riches. The Most High don't give a damn about your wealth. He's talking about those Israelites who are wealthy in the spirit, as his son told us to lay up treasures in heaven, in the kingdom, not here on earth. He's talking to them Israelites who got spiritual wealth. And look at this. And I know the blasphemy of them would say they're Jews. These are the fake Israelites, not the fake Jews over there. The fake Israelites in this truth who are saying, I'm Israel. But they ain't doing what the Most High is telling us to do. They're not following the will of Yah. This goes to those in the truth who are not following the will of Yah. They say they Jews. Hey, I'm part of the remnant. I'm Israel. They got Israel in their name. They look the part. But it's blasphemy because they are not doing what Yah has told them to do. They're only Israel in name only. The scripture says, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. You hear that? Synagogue of what? This Babylonian system. They belong to the system. These coons, these celebrities, they belong to the system. This ain't talking about no white people. Sorry. The world does not know who the real Israelites are. But Yah does. This ain't talking about no fake Jews. They're talking about Israelites who pretending. The lukewarm ones. Please understand this. Please stop putting up Revelation 2939 and attaching a Jewish person to it. Stop. Please. Stop. Get some goddamn on knowledge. I'm trying to spit you some truth. Listen. Verse 23. Isaac couldn't discern it was Jacob. This is symbolic again of how the world is blind to who the true Israel is. They think it's some fake ones over there. Esau's hands, the system of the world, the fleshly appearance, have convinced the world that Esau is the one who deserves the blessing. That these white folks deserve the blessing, but they ain't Esau. Spirit of Esau. Please receive this distinction. But just like Isaac couldn't see the truth, the world today can't see that the blessing belongs to Jacob. But here's the key part, family. He blessed him anyway. Yah's plan cannot be stopped, family. Even when the world is blind, even when they don't understand, Yah's blessing is still coming to Jacob. The blessing was never going to Esau, no matter what Isaac thought. Yah's sovereignty overrules everything. His plan was always to bless Jacob, and nothing Isaac or Esau could do would change that. In 2024, no matter how much the world tries to block us, Yah's blessings is still coming. They may not see it. They may be confused. They may think they are the one. But the blessing has always been for Jacob. Proverbs 19 and 21, look what Solomon says. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, that shall stand. Yah's plan always prevails. So we see in this section, family, verses 18 to 23, Jacob stepping into the blessing that was already his. He had to temporarily take on the identity of Esau. But the blessing was always meant for him. Isaac represented the world, was confused. He couldn't discern the difference between Jacob and Esau because he was relying on the flesh instead of the spirit. But despite all of that, Yah's plan went forward. Jacob received the blessing, and Esau was left with nothing. Today, this is still happening. The world is confused about who the true Israel is. They've dressed us up in Esau's identity, and they've been blind to who we really are. But Yah's blessing is still coming to Jacob, family. We still been awakened to our identity. We're still getting them blessings. The world might not discern it, but Yah knows who we are, and his plan will not be stopped. So, all right, family, we are moving into the climax of the story now. Genesis 27, 24 through 29. This is where Jacob finally receives the blessing from Isaac. You've got to understand, this moment is a transfer of power. The moment when Yah confirms his promise to Jacob. And just like back then, in 2024, we're about to walk into our blessing, whether the world likes it or not. So let's break it down. Verse 24. And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore God give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blessed thee. So verse 24, Isaac asking again, are you really Esau? Are you truly him? This is the third time he's asked. Isaac is still unsure because he knows something's off, but he can't figure out what. This is a picture, again, of how the world, even to this day, doesn't understand who the true Israel is. They keep asking, are you really the chosen ones? Because they've been blinded by the system, by Babylon, and lies. They've dressed us up in Esau's identity. And now they can't tell the difference. But look at what Jacob says. I am. He steps into the identity that Yah had already ordained for him. This isn't, again, about deception. This is about destiny. Excuse me. Jacob was always meant to receive this blessing. And it's the same for us today. The world may be confused about who we are, but we know who we are. We are Jacob, and the blessing is ours. Romans 9:6. For they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. Not everyone who looks like Israel is Israel, family. The world thinks Esau is the chosen, but we know the truth. We know the truth. Verse 25, Isaac says, bring me the food and I'll bless you. Come on, I'm hungry. Now this is symbolic again of how the world requires something in return for its blessings. Isaac needed to eat before he could give the blessing, which represents how worldly systems always need something from you. Money, power, submission before they'll give you anything. You want this welfare check? You got to submit to my inspections, my rules before you can get this money. Ain't that how it works, family? That's how it works. Before they'll give you anything. But Yah's blessings don't work that way. Jacob wasn't earning the blessing by feeding Isaac. He was just walking in the process that Yah had laid out for him. Today, family, we've got to stop thinking we need to earn Yah's blessings. Stop. The world tells us we got to work harder, be better, do more. Just like Isaac needed to be fed before the blessing. But Yah's blessings are based on his will, not our works. Jacob didn't earn the blessing. He was already chosen for it. Look what Paul says again. Ephesians 2, 8 and 9. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. The blessing comes from Yah's grace, not our works. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted, family. Isaac tells Jacob here in verse 26 to come closer and kiss him. The kiss represents intimacy, family, and trust. Even though Isaac was blind, he trusted the person in front of him because of the closeness they shared in the moment. This is symbolic again of how Yah draws us close when he's about to bless us. He calls us into intimacy with him before he releases the full blessing. James 4 and 8. Look what it says. Again, that's James 4 and 8. Draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. The closer we get to Yah, family, the more we'll see his blessings unfold. Today, Yah is calling us to come closer to him. He's asking us to draw near, to get intimate with him, because he's about to release blessings that the world can't comprehend. Isaac was still confused about Jacob's identity, but the blessing was coming because the relationship was there. In the same way, Yah knows who we are, and he's calling us to get close because the blessing is about to be released. Released, family. Verse 27 now. Isaac smells Jacob's clothing and says, the smell of my son is like a field the Lord has blessed. Now this is deep. The smell represents identity. Isaac thinks he's smelling Esau's clothes, but he's really blessing Jacob. This is a picture again of how the world has been fooled by appearances. They think they're dealing with Esau, but underneath it's always been Jacob. They don't think we the chosen ones, family. They just think we some niggas. That's it. You just some niggas. In 2024, the world still thinks we Esau. We're not the chosen one. They see us through the lens of the systems and cultures that have been forced on us, because we had to conform to them. But Yah knows who we are. Isaac thought he was blessing Esau, but Yah was making sure the blessing went to Jacob. The world might think they're blessing their own, but Yah is transferring the wealth, the power, and the promises back to Israel in the end. Solomon tells us this in Proverbs chapter 13 and verse 22. He says, the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Do you see it? Do you see it? The world might think they blessing Esau. The ones who are going after Esau spiritually. But Yah is laying up blessings for Jacob. Verse 28, here comes the blessing. The dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. This is a blessing of provision and abundance, family. The dew of heaven represents spiritual blessings, while the fatness of the earth represents physical blessings, wealth, land, resources. Jacob is receiving both spiritual and physical prosperity in this blessing. Today, Yah is about to pour out blessings on his people. Both spiritual and physical. The world has kept us in poverty, in oppression, and in lack. But Yah's blessing includes everything. The dew of heaven, spiritual insight, wisdom and revelation, and the fatness of the earth, wealth, land, food, and resources. This is a complete blessing, and it's coming to Jacob, not these other nations. Sorry, spiritual Esau's. You don't get nothing. You don't get nothing. Deuteronomy 28:12. Look what Yah says. The Lord shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in his season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. Yah's blessing covers both heaven and earth, family. Versus spirit and the physical. Verse 29, Isaac continues, let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. This is where the authority of Jacob is established. Yah's chosen people are destined to be leaders, not followers. The blessings confirm that Jacob, not Esau, is the one who will rule over nations. Nations will bow down to Israel. This is dominion, family. Dominion. In 2024, family, we got to stop thinking of ourselves as the tail and start walking in the authority Yah has given us as the head. The world has tried to convince us that Esau is in charge. These fake ones, fake Jews, these spiritual Esau's. They think they're in charge. They think they're in charge. That we're supposed to serve the nations. But the blessing says the opposite. The nations are supposed to serve Israel. This isn't about arrogance. It's about walking in the authority Yah has already given us. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 60 and 12, we see this written out here. Again, Isaiah 60 and 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. They don't teach this in the Christian church, family. Because they too busy holding hands with these other nations. But not over here, family. You get the unadulterated, blunt, brutal, honest truth from your boy. They bowing down to us. These white folks and all these other folks, they bowing down to black people once again. I don't care what they say. Oh, that's racist, blah, blah, blah. We're all God's kids. No, we ain't. No, we are not. God don't know any of y'all. He only know us. That's why we getting our head beat in all over the earth. While y'all get to sit in y'all blessings. Get out of here. You think you're going to rule on earth and rule in the kingdom? Foolishness. The nations will bow to Jacob, not the other way around, family. Continuation of verse 29. This part of the blessing is serious business. Isaac declares, cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. This is Yah's protection over his people. Anyone who comes against Israel will be cursed, and anyone who blesses us will be blessed. This is the ultimate divine favor. Yah is saying, if you mess with my people, you're messing with me. That's why you see here today, family, we need to understand that Yah's protection is on us. The world has tried to curse us, to destroy us, to wipe us out, but Yah's word stands. Anyone who comes against Israel is coming against Yah's chosen people. And that brings a curse. That's why you're seeing all these people, all these other nations, getting their ass handed to them today. Floods all over the world. Hurricanes all over the place. Typhoons. Tornadoes reaping havoc throughout the rural areas. You don't see tornadoes going down Martin Luther King Boulevard, family. They out there in the country destroying their farms, destroying their land and resources. You see them out there now committing suicide higher than any other race on the planet. They can't have any more kids. You see the birth rate of these Caucasians and all these other nations all around. The birth rate, they can't have kids because they're coming against us. Family, they don't understand why all of that is happening. It's because they're going against the wrong Israel. They're going against us. They sided with the wrong Israel. They blessing the wrong Israel. They have put themselves in the danger zone. And no, I ain't talking about Top Gun. They have put themselves in the bullseye of the Most High Yah. That's why they getting their head beat in. On the other hand, those who bless Israel, the true Israel, these black people, those who recognize who the true Israelites are, will receive Yah's favor. This is why these other nations will eventually have to submit and cleave to Israel. As we already know. In Isaiah 14, 1 and 2. I love reading these verses. I'm reading them again. But I'm going to read them to you, family. In the modern context, in the modern translation. Watch how brutal this one is. KJV got some flowery language, but this particular version, watch this. Isaiah 14, 1 and 2. The Lord will have mercy on Israel, and he will let them be his chosen people once again. He will bring them back to their own land, and foreigners will join them as part of Israel. Other nations will lead them home. And Israel will make slaves of them in the land that belongs to them. Israel will rule over those who once governed and mistreated them. You hear that? Slaves. Slaves. We're calling it what it is. See, the KJV says handmaidens and hand servants. Kind of sounds a little flowery, a little bit positive. This one says slaves. They got no choice if they want to avoid the curse. Numbers 24 and 9. Look what it says. Blessed is he that blesseth thee, and cursed is he that curseth thee. Yah's protection over Israel is absolute, family. So what does this section mean? It's all about the transfer of the blessing. Jacob, who represents Israel as a whole, receives the blessing from Isaac, even though Isaac thought he was blessing Esau. This is a picture of how Yah's plan will always come to pass, even when the world is confused. The blessing includes spiritual provision, physical wealth, and authority over the nations. Yah's people are destined to rule, not to serve, family. We need to step into this reality today. The world has tried to keep us in Esau's identity, but the blessing belongs to Jacob, to Israel. They try to keep us in the flesh, family. That's why they got all our people out there chasing after money. Got all these rappers, all they singing about is fleshly things. Money, jewelry, bitches and hoes. That's what they thinking about. That's what they're thinking about, family. We are the ones who will receive the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. We are the ones who have these nations bow down to us. And anyone who comes against us will be cursed and destroyed, because Yah's protection is on us. So let's move on to the aftermath now. Genesis 27:30-36. This is where Esau finds out that Jacob has received the blessing. And let me tell you, Esau is big mad. But guess what? It's too late. Yah's plan is already in motion. There's no going back. This moment is a picture of how the nations are going to react when they realize the true Israelites are rising up here in this modern day. So let's break it down, shall we? Verse 30, and it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce going out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from hunting. Look at that coincidence right there, family. Look at that coincidence right there. And he also made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father rise and eat of his son's venison, that they soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten all of it before thou comest, and I have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? Verse 30, the timing here is perfect. As soon as Isaac finishes blessing Jacob, Esau walks in. It's like Yah is saying, you too late, Esau. Woo! The blessing has already been given, and there's no reversing it. This is a picture again of Yah's sovereignty. Once he speaks, it's done. Poof! The world can be mad all they want to, but Yah's word stands. Today, these nations are going to realize they're too late. They've been trying to hold us down, keep us in this fleshly Esau identity. But Yah's blessing is already on Jacob, on Israel. The world can't stop what Yah has ordained. Just like Esau rushed in too late, the nations will be shocked when they see us walking in on our blessing, as we're doing today. But it'll be too late for them to stop it. They can't stop this awakening, family. Isaiah 55:11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Once Yah gives the blessing, it's done. Finito. Verse 31. Esau comes in with the venison, thinking he's about to receive a blessing. This is a picture of how the nations think they're about to get the favor and blessing that were meant for Israel. You got the Christians out there. We going to heaven. Rapture. We're going to rule with Christ. But they're going to be in for a rude awakening. They think they're about to get the favor and blessings that were meant for Israel. Esau thought his works, the hunting, the venison, were going to secure the blessing. But Yah's blessing isn't based on works, as I have told you. It's based on his will. Esau could have brought the best venison in the world, but it wouldn't have changed Yah's decision to bless Jacob. Today, the nations are still trying to work their way into favor, still trying to claim the blessings of Israel. But Yah's blessing doesn't work that way. It's not about what you bring. It's about who you are. And we, the true Israelites, are the ones Yah has chosen. Esau can hunt all day long, but the blessings belongs to Jacob. Romans 9:16. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that sheweth mercy. Yah's blessing isn't about Esau's works. It's about his will for Jacob. Verse 32, who art thou? Isaac asked Esau the same question he asked Jacob earlier. Who are you? This is the moment of identity crisis. Esau says, I'm your firstborn Esau. But guess what? It doesn't matter. The blessing has already been given to Jacob. This is a picture again, family, of how identity matters more than birthright. Esau was the firstborn in the flesh, yes, but Jacob was the firstborn in the spirit, as I told you before. In 2024, family, the nations are going to ask the same question. Who are you? When they see Israel rising up. They're going to be shocked when they realize that we are the true chosen people. It doesn't matter what they've been told. It doesn't matter what they think their birthright is. Yah's blessing is blessed or based on identity. And our identity is Jacob. Esau can claim to be firstborn all day long, but the blessings belong to Israel. See, the nations have been given power only because we despise our own birthright and we broke the covenant. So the Most High put all these heathen over us. So they walking in that power and they thinking they're going to continue in that power forever, for eternity. They think they're going to be on top forever, family. But the Most High has already told us in his word that we're going to rule over them. It don't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they do. Yah's word will stand. Galatians 4:28 and 29. Now we, brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise. But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit, even so it is now, family, even to this day, family. Esau's claim to the birthright was based on the flesh, but Jacob's blessing was based on Yah's promise. See, the nations think that they're going to be in rulership based on what they are at today, based on the power they have today in the flesh. But the Most High already gave the blessing to Israel. No matter what our position is, we on the bottom everywhere, family. We going to rise up. And we rising up at this time. We rising up everywhere. And the nations are shocked. Who are you? Who these people is? We Israel. But I thought they Israel. Confusion is about to happen, family. Verse 33, Isaac trembled very exceedingly. Isaac trembles, family, when he realizes what happened. He's shocked because in his flesh, he wanted to bless Esau. But Yah had already decided that the blessing would go to Jacob. Isaac says he shall be blessed. There's no going back. This is a picture of how Yah's sovereignty again overrules even our desires and plans. Isaac wanted to bless Esau, but Yah's plan was for Jacob to receive the lesson or the blessing. So today, the world is going to tremble when they realize that Israel, not them fake ones over there, not the spiritual Esau's, not the nations, are the ones walking in the blessing. They've been trying to hold us down. They've been trying to give the blessing to those spiritual Esau descendants. But Yah's decision is final. The blessing is on us. Nothing could change that. The world might tremble, but we shall be blessed. We gonna be blessed. Verse 34. Esau cries out when he realizes what's happened. This is the moment of regret and bitterness. Esau sold his birthright for a bowl of stew. Stupid. And now he's realizing the full consequences of that decision. This is a picture of how the nations will cry out in regret when they realize they've been living under a false identity, thinking they were blessed. But the true blessing belongs to Israel, family. Rude awakening is coming for these people, these fake Jews, these Christians, all of them. When they realize they were never blessed at all. But those people they persecuted for millennia, those were the true people of God. Woo, child, I want to see their faces, boy. I want to be a fly on the wall. When the heathen realizes this truth, the world family is going to cry out when they see the rise of the true Israelites, like they're crying out today. They've been living in these systems, this Babylonian system, based after the spirit of Esau, thinking they had the blessings. But when Yah's people rise up, as we are doing, they'll realize that the blessing was never theirs to begin with. But they ain't going to tell you that, family. They ain't going to tell you that. In their spirit, they know, but their flesh will not admit it. That pride will not let them admit that those black folk who they deem inferior to them are actually superior to them. Esau's cry is a cry of the nations who thought they were the chosen ones, but they were living a lie. Hebrews 12, 16 and 17 says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Esau's tears couldn't change what was already done. The blessing had already been given to Jacob. Verse 35, Isaac tells Esau, your brother came with subtlety and took your blessing. Now let's be real. This subtlety wasn't just Jacob's trickery. This was Yah's plan all along. Jacob wasn't stealing anything. He was walking in what Yah had already promised him. This is a picture again of how the world will accuse us of stealing the blessing like they're doing today. The blessing is for everybody. You can't just take it for yourself. God loves everybody. Those blessings belong to everybody, not just one people. Ain't they doing that today, family? But the truth is, the blessing has always belonged only to Israel. Today, these nations will accuse Israel of taking what belongs to them, like they're doing today. They'll say we're being subtle or deceptive. But the reality is the blessing has always been ours. Yah promised it to Jacob before he was even born. So when the world starts crying foul like they're doing today, just remember, we ain't stealing nothing, family. We're just claiming what Yah has already said is ours. As Paul tells us in Romans 11, in verse number 29, for the gifts and calling of God are without repentance. Yah's blessing on Jacob was always part of his plan. It can't be taken back. No take backs. No Indian giving, as they would say. Verse 36, Esau still crying about his birthright and his blessing. But let's be clear, Esau gave up his birthright. He wasn't tricked into it. He sold it because he was living for the flesh. And now he's mad because he lost the blessing too. Another picture of how the nations have been living for the flesh. Their chance to cleave to Israel for temporary pleasures. They traded their chance. They don't want to cleave to us, family. They want to still do things on their own. Their own merits, on their own understanding, which is false. They want to keep on thinking that Jesus died for everybody. They don't want to cleave to us. They don't want to listen to what we got to say. They don't want to be blessed, family. They want the power that comes with living in the flesh. But they don't understand it's temporary. Temporary. And now, when they see us walking in Yah's blessings, as we are starting to do, they'll cry out, but it'll be too late. The nation's family are going to realize they've lost the opportunity to walk in Yah's favor because they've been living like Esau for the flesh. They gave up their chance. They gave it up to cleave to us. And now they're missing out on the blessing. Esau's cry is the cry of a world that's chosen the flesh over the spirit. Genesis 25:34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Right there, see? Esau didn't value his birthright, and now he's paying the price. This whole section, family, is about Esau's regret and Jacob's victory. Esau thought he was about to receive a blessing, but by the time he showed up, it was too late. Jacob had already received the blessing, and Yah's word was final. This is a picture of how the nations will react, or how they're reacting now, when they realize that the blessings belongs to Israel, not them. When Christ comes and takes off the spiritual blindness, family, this is going to be their reaction. They'll cry out. They'll accuse us of stealing. But the truth is, the blessing was always meant for Jacob, the black people, scattered to the four corners of the earth. The world is going to be shocked when they see us walking in the blessing, in the fullness of it. The nations will cry out like Esau, but it'll be too late. The blessing is already on us, family, and nothing can change it. Esau might have been the firstborn in the flesh, but Jacob is the firstborn in the spirit. Please understand this duality, family. Understand it, because we are living in this duality today, spirit and flesh. Which side are you on? And Yah's blessing is based on identity, not birthright. Just because you got power in nations doesn't mean that God has blessed you. Family, we are Jacob. The world might not realize it, but the blessing is already here. Esau can cry all he wants, but Yah's word stands. We've got the dew of heaven, the fatness of the earth, and the nations will bow. Let's walk in that truth, family. So now we're getting to the final file out now. Genesis 27, 37 through 41. This is where Esau, still in tears by the way, tries to salvage something from the situation. He's desperate for a blessing. Any blessing. But Isaac makes it clear. Jacob has already received the best. Esau's fate is sealed. And this is a picture of how the nations are going to scramble when they realize that Israel, the true Israelites, these so-called black people, are stepping into the fullness of Yah's promises in 2024. Let's break it down. Genesis 27, 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn, in wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me, oh, my father, also. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, when that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Woo! Let's start verse 37. Isaac tells Esau straight up, I've made him your Lord. Whoopsie daisy. This is the part that the world doesn't want to hear, family. The true Israelites, Jacob's descendants, are destined to rule. The nations are going to serve Israel, whether they like it or not. That's Yah's plan. It's written right here in the blessing. Isaac says, all his brethren have I given to him for servants. Esau is out here thinking he's going to get a piece of the blessing, but Jacob's got it all. The corn, wealth, the wine, abundance, and the dominion. The world, family, has got to face this truth. Israel is going to rise and the nations are going to serve us. This isn't about being arrogant. It's about claiming what Yah has already written. The nations have been fulfilling, or they have been ruling for far too long. Way too long. But Yah is turning the tables. Just like Esau was told he served his brother, the nations will serve Israel. That is prophecy. You don't like it, heathen? Take it up with the Most High Yah. I'm just showing you what the book says. Isaiah 49 and 23. Look at this. More proof. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet. This is the future of the nations. They will serve Israel. White people, you. So-called Spanish people, you. So-called Native Americans, you. Africans, the Hamite ones, you. So-called Arabs, you. All the rest of you so-called Middle Eastern people, you. Asians, you. You're going to bow down and lick the dust off my feet. And probably give me a nice little massage afterwards. Maybe massage my bunions. But this is your fate. You don't like it? Take it up with Yah. I'm tired of y'all crying. I'm tired of y'all saying, oh, that's being divisive. Oh my God, that's too harsh. Yah is not like that. He's a God of love. What the book say, heathen? I don't care about your feelings. Cry all you want, fake Esau. Cry all you want. But the word is written, family. Walk in this, please. Stop asking, what about the other nations? What about them? I just read you their fate. They gonna serve you. You serving them now, right? You got no problem with going into work at 7 a.m. and serving some heathen for 8-10 hours a day, every day. Even disrespecting the Sabbath, going in on that day. Because you're too scared of him to tell him, hey, I'm going to be off on the Sabbath day. You're too scared to tell him that. But I'm telling you, hey, they're going to serve you. But that doesn't seem fair. Weakness. This is our people in a nutshell in 2024. Weakness. So fine, be consumed with the rest of the heathen then. Be whisked away into nothing. Be burnt to ash, never to be seen or heard from again. Because you despise your birthright. Verse 38. Now look, Esau is desperate. He begging for just one blessing, please. The man is weeping because he knows he's been outmaneuvered. But here's the thing. Esau made his choice a long time ago when he sold his birthright for a bowl of stew. This is what happens when you live for the flesh, family. You end up begging for scraps while Jacob walks in the fullness of Yah's blessing. In 2024, the nations are going to be begging for a piece of the blessing. Begging for a piece of the blessing. Did not that Canaanite woman in Matthew 15, she was begging to have her daughter healed by Jesus. And he's like, woman, I'm only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Guess what she had to do? She had to submit herself on the bottom. She had to submit herself under Israel. She had to do that. She had to cleave to Israel in order for Christ to give her a crumb of the blessing. The lessons are all over the book, family. They're going to be begging for a piece of the blessing, but they're going to realize it's too late. The blessing belongs to us. They've been living for the flesh, chasing after temporary pleasures, while Yah's people have been holding on to the promise. And just like Esau, they'll lift up their voices and weep when they realize the blessing has passed them by. Look at Matthew 25, 10 through 12. Look at what the Son of God says. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. The nations will be like those foolish virgins, too late to get the blessings. Whoops-a-daisies, out of darkness you go. Verse 39, Isaac gives Esau a secondary blessing. Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Now on the surface, this sounds like Esau is getting a good deal, right? But let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. These spiritual Esau's, family, they have had the fatness of the earth for centuries, millennia. They've been living in wealth, ruling over everything, while Israel has been scattered and oppressed. Esau's been eating good in this world, but that's about to change. About to change. Family, this is talking about the nations. Remember, Esau is destroyed right now. Esau is destroyed. This is a spiritual lesson that the Most High is teaching you here. Everybody trying to pinpoint who Esau is. It doesn't matter. They're destroyed people just like us. Or destroyed black people just like us, wandering around, not knowing who they are. Stop trying to pinpoint who these people are and look at the message that the Most High is trying to get you to understand spiritually. Because these nations are following after this spirit here. Most High is showing you what happens when you live after the flesh. Because that's who Esau represents, ultimately. And anyone who lives after the flesh, yes, you'll get the fatness of the earth. Yes, sir, you will. You'll eat good in this world, celebrities, rich folk. You'll eat good, but it's going to change. These nations that follow after the flesh are going to realize that their time of living in the fatness of the earth is coming to an end, and family is coming to an end. You see it now. You got all these allegations coming up against all these celebrities and all. It's coming down. It's coming down. The Most High has set the chess pieces for all these rich people to be destroyed. Got the Epstein list. You got Diddy over there. Boy, the setup is here. It's coming. It's coming. They've had their season. They've been in control of the world's resources, wealth and power. But Yah's about to shift that wealth back to Jacob. It's Esau's blessing is temporary, family. The flesh's blessing is temporary. Jacob's blessing is eternal. The spirit is eternal. Job 20, 5-7. Look at this. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, that pride, that power, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. Woo, cha! They which have seen him shall say, where is he? They gone, family. The Most High finna extinguish all of this. These nations are falling. It's going away forever. The Most High showing you the blueprint. It's going away. Where is he? Esau's spiritual descendants may have the fatness now, but it's only for a moment. Only for a moment. Check out verse 40. Isaac tells Esau, by the sword shalt thou live and shalt serve thy brother. Now this is key. Esau's descendants in these nations that's following after them have been living by the sword for centuries, conquering, colonizing, enslaving, using violence and oppression to maintain their power. But look at the second part. Thou shalt serve thy brother. Esau might be living by the sword now. The flesh living by the sword now. But in the end, he's going to serve Jacob. That's prophecy. Nations, even Esau's true descendants today, whoever they are, they probably living crazy out there today. But they will serve us in the end. The nations have been living by the sword, family. Those that have used violence, war, and oppression to maintain their power are going to find themselves serving Israel in the end, as I've shown you. The tables are going to turn. They're about to turn. You see the setting up right now. The time of ruling by the sword is coming to an end. And Israel's reign is about to begin. Yah's people are going to rise up. And Esau will serve Jacob. Just like the prophecy says. Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. Those who have lived by the sword, family, will face their judgment. And they will serve Israel. Continuation of verse 40. Isaac tells Esau there will come a time when he will break Jacob's yoke off his neck. Now this is a reference to the struggle between Esau and Jacob, which has been ongoing for their entire history. Esau's descendants have rebelled against Jacob's authority at different points in their history. But the final victory still belongs to Israel. Esau might get a few moments where he thinks he's thrown off the yoke. But Yah's prophecy stands. Jacob will be the ruler. Did not Esau break off the yoke from David. When they got powerful, they broke off their yoke and stopped serving David. Remember that? That's a reference to that. That's where that prophecy was fulfilled. Obadiah 1:18. In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, in the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken. Esau's rebellion will be crushed, and Israel will reign. Was that Esau's rebellion crushed, family? They got destroyed. I ain't talking about these people today. They living after his spirit. I'm talking about the real Esau. They got destroyed, family. Way back when. By us and even the other nations. Destroyed. And then eventually scattered. Just like us. Not knowing who they are. Destroyed. You got people talking about, oh, this is a future prophecy. It's already happened. And by extension, since these people are following after the flesh, just like Esau did, who was the archetype for living after the flesh, they are going to suffer the same fate. That's how you reconcile the two, family. You don't put them together. Well, they got to be Esau then. Well, they're going to be... No, they're not. Completely different people. But they're following the same template. Verse 41, Esau's response to all of this is hatred. He hates Jacob because of the blessing. This is what we see in the world today. Hatred towards Israel. The true descendants of Jacob. The nations are angry because they know deep down that the blessing belongs to us. Esau says, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. This is a picture of perpetual hatred that Esau's descendants have for Israel. And they had it in their history. The physical descendants. They had it all throughout their history. Fighting us. Stopping us when we was trying to go through the wilderness. They didn't want us to go through their town. They screamed victory when we got sent away. And they tried to claim our home. And we still dealing with the same hatred, family. Why? Because these nations are taking after the spiritual aspects of Esau. These nations hate Israel because they know the truth. We are the chosen people. They've tried everything to destroy us. Slavery, colonization, oppression. But just like Yah protected Jacob, he's protecting us. Esau can plot all he wants. These spiritual Esau's can plot all they want. But Jacob will prevail. The nations can hate us, but they can't stop Yah's plan. Israel will rise. Ezekiel 35:5. Watch what this says. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end. Esau's descendants, and by extension these nations who are following after them, have had a perpetual hatred for Israel. But Yah's judgment is coming. It's coming, family. They think they're living high off the hog, but family, it's going to end. The Most High is telling you here in this chapter. Here in this chapter. So let's wrap up Genesis 27 with verses 42 to 46. This is the part where Rebekah steps in to protect Jacob from Esau's hatred. She knows Esau's plotting to kill Jacob, and she's not about to let that happen. What we see here, family, is Yah's hand still working behind the scenes to preserve the chosen line of Jacob. Esau can scheme all he wants, but Yah's protection is always on Israel. Let's break it down. Verse 42. In these words of Esau, her elder son were told to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said unto him, behold, thy brother Esau, as touching thee, doth comfort himself, purposing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise. Flee thou to Laban, my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days, until thy brother's fury turn away, until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast done to him. Then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heth. If Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these, which are the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me? Verse 42, Esau is comforting himself with the thoughts of murder, family. He's so consumed with hatred that the only way he can soothe his pain is by plotting to kill Jacob. This is a picture, family, of how the nations respond when they realize that Yah's blessing is on Israel. They can't stand the fact that we're the chosen people. You see them today. Hate us. All these Karens and Kens all about up in our face. These cops doing all their business to us and everything like that. They hate us because they know we the chosen. So they turn their hatred and violence. Just like Esau did. This hatred has been passed down through generations. And it's still alive today, family, spiritually. We're still dealing with Esau's spiritual descendants and their hatred toward Israel. They comfort themselves with thoughts of keeping us down, oppressing us, and trying to destroy us. But guess what? Just like Rebekah stepped in to protect Jacob, Yah is always stepping in to protect Israel. The nations can plot all they want, but we're under divine protection. Their schemes will fail, as I read to you before with Psalm 83. They've taken crafty counsel, family, against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut us off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Esau's descendants and these nations today have always plotted against Israel, but they will not succeed, family. They're taking after the same template here. These were nations back then who did this, and these nations are now doing the exact same thing. There's nothing new under the sun, family. What has been is what shall be. Verse 43 now. So Rebekah tells Jacob to flee to her brother Laban. Now understand this. This isn't about running away in fear. This is about strategic protection. Yah is positioning Jacob for the next part of his journey. Sometimes Yah will move us out of harm's way so that his plan can unfold according to his timing. Esau might think he's got the upper hand like these nations do today. But Yah's plan is always 10 steps ahead. We need to remember today, family, that sometimes Yah will move us or redirect us for our own protection. You may be with some people, and then the Most High may come and move you and direct you somewhere else. It might feel like we're being pushed out, but it's all part of the plan, family. Yah is positioning Israel where we need to be for the next phase of his prophetic timeline. That's what happened with me last week. Yah moved me to somewhere else. He positioned me where I needed to be for the next phase for my plan or his plan for me. Just like Jacob was told to go to Laban, sometimes we need to be patient and follow Yah's direction, trusting that he's working everything for our own good. As Solomon says in Proverbs 16:9, a man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directed his steps. Jacob might have thought he was just running from Esau, but Yah was leading him for a bigger purpose, which we'll find out in the coming chapters. Verse 44, Rebekah tells Jacob to stay with Laban for a while, thinking that Esau's fury will eventually die down. Now we know from the Bible that Jacob ends up staying much longer than a few years or a few days, about 20 years. But here's the point. Rebekah is trying to buy time. She knows Esau's hatred is intense, but she's hoping that with time, he'll cool off. What she doesn't realize is that Esau's hatred is deep-rooted and generational and even spiritual to this day. So we've got to understand here today, in this modern time, that the hatred toward Israel isn't going to just cool off after a few days, family. This is a spiritual war, and Esau's spiritual descendants and his own physical descendants are still plotting against us. But just like Jacob was protected while he was with Laban, Yah is protecting us during this time of waiting in this wilderness. We might be in a period of time where it feels like we're not yet walking in the fullness of Yah's promises, but he's keeping us safe until the appointed time when we will arise. The appointed time, family. I know it may feel like it's taking forever, but trust me, Yah is working everything out, family, behind the scenes. He's doing things we can't even comprehend because our mind is not like his. He's already setting up the chessboard 10, 20, 40 moves ahead, family. We just got to be patient and let it manifest. That's it. So verse 45, Rebekah is hoping that over time, Esau will forget what Jacob has done and his anger will fade. But let's be real, Esau never forgot. Just like these nations, they never forget. The descendants of Esau, physically, and these spiritual ones today, have been holding on to this grudge for centuries. That's why we still see so much hatred and oppression toward black people today. The nations, led by the spirit of Esau, don't want to let go of their anger because deep down they know we are the chosen people family. You got to get this. You got to understand this. They hate you because they know who you are. You the only one who don't know who you are. Black people, wake the hell up. It's time to stop being ignorant. It's time to stop being blind to this truth. Wake the hell up. The Most High is trying to get you to understand this. Wake up, Neo. Wake up, Neo. Get out of the matrix. Open your eyes to this truth so you can walk in Yah's blessings for you and your family. Stop being lazy. Get off your ass. Stop watching ESPN all day. Stop scrolling social media all day and get your ass in this book. Yes, sir. I'm tired of seeing our people out there thinking they black and African. You a damn color? Really? Stupid. Where's a country called black? I don't see one. So how you are telling yourself that you black? How are you letting these heathen call you black a color? And then they associate that color with evil and darkness and everything bad. Stupid behavior. These nations are still plotting. They are still scheming, still trying to keep us down, family. But Yah is still on the throne, and his plan will prevail. Just like Rebekah sent Jacob away to keep him safe, Yah is positioning Israel for the day we will step into our full inheritance. Esau's and these nations' anger might burn, but it won't stop Yah's plan. They can cry all they want to. They can get mad all they want to, family. We still gonna rule. In the last verse, Verse 46, Rebekah tells Isaac that she's wary of life because of the daughters of Heth, these Canaanite women. And she doesn't want Jacob to marry one of them because Esau married these Canaanite girls. She don't want Jacob to marry one of them. This is important because Rebekah knows that Yah's covenant with Israel can't be mixed with the nations. She doesn't want Jacob to marry outside the covenant people because she understands the spiritual importance of keeping the line pure. This is about preserving Israel's identity, family, and keeping us set apart. We need to understand that today, that Israel is set apart. Black people, not all black people, you know which ones I'm talking about. You so-called blacks, you Negroes, colored, who are on the bottom of society. We can't be mixing with the nations in ways that compromise our identity and covenant with the Most High Yah. Rebekah knew that if Jacob married one of the daughters of Heth, it could weaken the covenant line. This is why we, as black people, must stay rooted in our identity and not compromise with the world. Yah has called us to be holy and separate, and we need to honor that. Did he not say that in Deuteronomy 7, 3 and 4? Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son, for they will turn away thy son from following me. Which what happens when you coons marry these white folks. Y'all start following after day gods, Christmas, Easter, and all the other foolishness. You don't take up for your people. You start taking up for her people more than you take up for yours. You start forgetting where you came from because you want to be accepted with these other people because you see the power they have. But remember, I told you that power is temporary. If only our people could understand that their power is temporary, that their power is going to fade, maybe more of our people will understand this and come into this light that the Most High is shining for our people to come towards. So the Most High says, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. That's why these marriages, these relationships, interracial relationships, they never work out. They never work out. Heck, and some of them, they kill each other. It never works out, family, because that's the Most High's will. He don't want you with nobody else. But most of us are ignorant toward that fact, so we still keep on doing the same thing like I did. Because I was in these relationships with these other heathen. And the Most High kept making the relationship not work. But I kept on going back to my vomit. Kept on going back to another girl. And it never worked. It never worked. I never got it until I got into this truth and I found out, like, holy shit, the Most High was saving me from that. Saving me. So now I am telling you to save you from the heartache, to save you from the confusion that comes from being with these people. Yah warned us not to mix with the nations. And Rebecca understood this, family. So we are still dealing with the same dynamics today, family. The nations, led by the spirit of Esau, are still plotting against us. But Yah's protection is on us. We might be in a period of waiting, just like Jacob was when he fled to Laban. But Yah is positioning us for our eventual rise. And just like Rebecca didn't want Jacob to mix with the daughters of Heth, we need to stay set apart from the world, preserving our identity as the true Israelites. Family, we are Jacob. The world might hate us, just like Esau hated Jacob. But Yah's protection is on us. We are set apart, and we must honor our identity as the chosen people of Yah. Esau's descendants, and these spiritual ones, can plot all they want, but Yah's plan, family, will always prevail. Stay rooted in the truth, family. Stay set apart, and trust that Yah's hand is guiding us, just like he guided Jacob. And with that, I end my lesson. All praises and great glory to the Most High Yah for giving me this wisdom to share unto your ears today. I hope you guys were spiritually edified as we leave. I leave you with a song that's off my new album that's coming out. It's called Awakening. The name of the album is called Awakening. Stay tuned. Keep your eye out for you. This song is about our victory, family. It's about being blessed and not stressed. So without further ado, I present to you Chill Victory.
2024, back chilling in Zion. Overcame struggles, no more crying. ESPN couldn't predict the story. From underdogs to kingdom glory. Babylon's noise fades to the background. Our people's peace finally found. Lo-fi beats and songs on replay. Living that promised land getaway. Chill victory, 2024. No more battles, no more war. Lay back vibes, heavenly store. This is what we've been waiting for. Yes, be a theme and a mighty king. Remind us of our history, but now we're free eternally. Chill victory, 2024. We made it through every test. Now we vibe in divine rest. 2024, we are blessed. From 12 tribes scattered to united. Our story's high, but we stay grounded. No more hustling, no more striving. In this new kingdom, we are blessed. Smooth like butter, our transition from world's gain to heavenly vision. Lo-fi Israel, that's our new brand. Chilling with the king in the promised land. Chill victory, 2024. No more battles, no more war. Lay back vibes, heavenly score. This is what we've been waiting for. Yes, be a theme and a mighty king. Remind us of our history, but now we're free eternally. Chill victory, 2024. Remember the journey, but no stress. We made it through every test. Now we vibe in divine rest. 2024. From 12 tribes scattered to united. Our stories hide but we stay grounded. No more hustling, no more striving. In this new kingdom we're thriving.